The latest tech.
I'm Alexa. I can answer your questions.
Interviews.
And we are evolving, and we are seeing an amazing opportunity that is happening.
Accessibility.
Accessibility is one of our core values.
This is DoubleTap TV.
Welcome to another edition of DoubleTap TV. Thank you guys so much for being here. Our email address for you to get involved is feedback@doubletap.online. If you want to get involved on Twitter, we can absolutely welcome you there as well. It is @DoubleTapCanada with the hashtag AskDoubleTap. I am Marc AFLALO. Steven Scott joins me every single week. Not only here, Steven, but also on DoubleTap Canada, which airs every Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern live on AMI Audio. We're having a lot of fun with that, aren't we?
Oh, we are. I think my wife's getting worried how much time we spend together, but other than that, it's all going well.
Yeah, I get the questions from my wife often, especially because 8 p.m. Eastern after a long day on a Thursday. Then again, I think, Steven and Sean are getting up, or going to bed and getting up at 1 o'clock in the morning to do the show. But it is a lot of fun. This week, we've got a really packed show. We've got two guests lined up because we're talking about the security and the Internet of Things. And when I say the Internet of Things, a lot of people have heard the term IoT, but really at the end of the day, we're talking about any kind of smart home device or devices that are connected to the Internet in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah, it's a really interesting area because people are worried. And in some cases, they are right to be, because, you think about it, we're placing microphones everywhere in our house, everywhere in our lives. But I say to people who have told me in the past, well, I don't want to buy an Amazon Echo because I don't want something listening in on me. I'll say, well, do you have a mobile phone? Yes. Oh, all right. Well, that's listening to you then. And if you've got a smart TV, that's got a microphone in it. It's probably listening to you as well. Do you have a laptop? Yes. That's got a webcam. It's probably watching you as well. So you could get a little bit paranoid about these things. Are they really watching us? I'll be honest. I don't think anyone's watching me in my life, Mark. I think I'm a pretty boring guy. If you just want to see a fat guy sit and wade through technology, then feel free. But I somehow doubt people are going to be that keen. I think the truth is, it's about being safe and about being security conscious.
I remember when Robin Christopherson was on in our second season, and we're talking all about things that the Amazon Echo did that we weren't necessarily aware of. That was one of the things he said. The camera's there and you can cover it.
Yeah.
Those are one of those things that you can, one of those little things that you can do to help your safety. Another thing that I always recommend to people when they ask me about this stuff is make sure that location services are off on things like photos in your camera so that it's not imprinting the GPS coordinates of where you've taken photos. There are so many different small things that we can do to make that experience a lot more safer, or safer in our heads, I think, at the end of the day. And there are some companies out there, like we're going to be talking to Linksys later on in the show, and in their routers, they're actually taking a step forward, and they're talking about not only the security of your devices, but the security of your family and your home, and they're taking it very seriously, and they've got some pretty cool programs that we're going to talk about later on in the show about just that, keeping those devices secure. And of course, also on the show, we're going to be talking to Ring. Ring has created one of the first video doorbells, Steven, that has come to existence. It was one of the first that I got my hands on, and I think it was the first that was really successful. I believe it launched as a Kickstarter campaign. They got rejected on Shark Tank. I think it was Shark Tank. They got rejected, and they laughed all the way to the bank when Amazon went ahead and bought them, later on, and started integrating this incredible product into so many different things that we use on a daily basis. And I can't imagine my life without that device there. Can you?
No, I'm a very lazy person. I like getting up late in the day, and especially at the weekend, right? And what I love doing is answering the door to the postman by not answering the door, but instead by speaking to the postman via my smartphone and saying, just leave the parcel on the doorstep, will you? Thank you very much. Goodbye. Meanwhile, I can go back to sleep. I love that feature. A lot of people say it's about security, and it is. Of course, it's about security. Knowing who's at your front door before you open it is great. And look, video doorbells, video intercoms have been around for a long time, but they were quite intrusive because you had to sometimes wire them into your house. And you tend to find maybe only older people would ever get them. Whereas now everybody can access this technology, and it's so easy, and it all runs off wireless, which is brilliant. You can wire them in if you want. You don't have to do that. But what it does is it allows you to get that security of your home. So we talk about smart device security and thinking cleverly about our devices in the home. But what about your home itself? And that's where Ring comes in, really. It's about looking after your home. So when I'm away or I'm somewhere else, I can still be able to know what's going on outside my front door. If someone comes to my door, I know who it is. It doesn't just act as a doorbell, it acts as a security guard. As someone approaches my property, I have the ability to know that person's there because of the motion sensor. And that's amazing. That goes much further than a doorbell. That's a guard in that case. And it will immediately tell me someone's at your door and I can see who that person is. I've got a track of who that person is, the time they've come to the door. It's recorded. So if something happens, say in the area, maybe there's a burglary or someone's been moving around, then I'm able to use that video and say, look, here, I can give this to the police. And it therefore makes your home safer. And I think in a lot of cases, burglars are becoming wise to this and they're keeping away from homes. I mean, there was a long time, Mark, where we would hear people talk about alarm systems. An alarm system in a home would keep the burglar away. If they saw the alarm system outside, they'd think, maybe not. Well, with this, because they know they're going to be on camera and recorded, even if they grab the thing, this is the other thing, even if they grab the Ring doorbell, yank it off the wall and run away with it, it still captures it and it still sends it to your phone. So as they're running up the street, you'll get maybe a stream of that before it cuts off, but you'll still get that video. So, it's really powerful. It's a really powerful piece of kit and it really does make your home smarter but safer.
So we are talking all about securing not only your home, but securing those devices as well. So we take a quick break here on Double Tap TV and we come back and let's have a conversation with the Ring. Let's find out how they began and where they are at today. All that and more coming up here on Double Tap TV.
For more great Double Tap TV content, visit AMI.CA/DoubleTap. This is Double Tap TV.
Welcome back to Double Tap TV. I am Marc AFLALO. Stephen Scott is standing by with our first guest for this week's program. We are talking all about the Internet of Things and smart home devices.
Yeah, that's right, Mark. We're talking home security with Ring, and I have Anthony Poo with me, who works for Ring, in particular in the field of video doorbells. Anthony, good to have you here on Double Tap TV.
Thank you so much for having me. Appreciate it.
It's great to have you here. For those who don't know about the company Ring, maybe you could start off by telling us how you got started and how you got to where you are today.
You may or may not be aware of our founder story, Jamie, but the way he created Ring was really cool, and just that classic entrepreneur story. So he's an inventor himself, and as he was working on his next big invention out of his garage, he realized he was continuously missing package deliveries because he couldn't hear his doorbell from the garage. And so once he realized that a solution wasn't there, an internet-connected doorbell didn't exist at the time, he went and built the first version of what we now know as a Ring video doorbell himself, so that he could just answer the door while he worked. But then when he showed it to his wife, she used the device. She expressed how safe it made her feel when she was home alone because she could answer the door from anywhere. She didn't even have to be on the phone. And then the rest is history. We started with the doorbell first because we really think home safety starts at the front door. But since then, Ring has evolved its product offerings to entire line of other security devices. So obviously we started with the doorbells, like I said. We also have a line of security cameras. That's a great way to stay connected to other parts of your home, both inside and outside, wherever you are. We have the Ring alarm system, which is a DIY but professionally monitored alarm system, super affordable, easy to set up by yourself, and commitment free, which is great. And then we have our smart lighting portfolio as well. Again, super affordable, easy to install sort of network of smart lights. They have motion sensors on them. And the cool thing about all these products is that they can integrate together and really create that sort of family of Ring sort of protection around your home.
And that's an interesting thing you bring up there, because of course Ring is now part of Amazon, and with that integration has begun. So for example, if you have something like an Amazon Echo Show device, you can ask Lady A, as I like to call her, because I sit surrounded by these devices. I couldn't possibly say her name out loud. But when you say her name, you say, "Show me the front door," it will show you the front door camera. You can talk to the front door that way as well. So that integration, that ability to connect to those devices is quite smart as well. And again, it just heightens that sense of security. I just wonder, Anthony, from your point of view, I mean, have you ever considered how beneficial this would be to the disabled community, people who are perhaps unable to get to the door to answer deliveries, who worry about missing parcels? Does that factor into your thinking with these products?
Yeah, absolutely. We're certainly we try to think about our customers, all of our customers, and really try to build towards benefits and sort of features that really they can get value out of. And so certainly the community is something I think our products are great for. The idea of having that safety net of not having to open the door is huge. I think people who potentially can't make it to the door in time or make it to their phone in time and maybe would miss a visitor, this really is a great solution. And I think, yes, is certainly products that could work well for disabled people in the community, and something we would continue to be interested in creating more features and products around to support.
So I guess my final question to you, Anthony, is where does Ring go next? You've mentioned about integrations with Amazon Echo, which is brilliant, of course, but where else can this home security world go with Ring?
Yeah, I think we have a lot of exciting things coming up, sort of both in the home and outside the home. We actually recently announced some auto products to both protect your car, have visibility around your car. So sort of moving out of the home to auto is one really cool thing. We've expanded inside the home as well, and really working towards the sort of best security, personal security that you need. One of the really cool products we also announced was the Always Home Cam, which is an autonomous camera that can go to certain areas of your home if there is a motion alert triggered. So, again, really speaking on that innovation, we're always constantly thinking about what's next. And, obviously we're very focused on home security, but we really want to push the boundaries of what's possible and really offer customers in our community great ways to continue to feel safe at home.
Anthony, really appreciate what you do, and really appreciate you coming on here to DoubleTap TV.
Stick around, guys. We've got one more special guest because we want to tackle the security of our smart home and the security of these internet-connected devices. It is DoubleTap TV. Get your say. Email us feedback@doubletap.online. And on Twitter, we are @DoubleTap Canada. And if you use that hashtag #AskDoubleTap, we will get to your questions on our program. Stick around. Back with more DoubleTap TV in a moment.
Love DoubleTap TV? Listen to AMI Audio for DoubleTap Canada every Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern for news and reviews on everything tech. This is DoubleTap TV.
Welcome back to DoubleTap TV. Thank you guys so much for being here. If there's anything that you want to tell us, maybe you have some experience with that Ring video doorbell, feedback@doubletap.online is our email address. You can also find us on Twitter. It is @DoubleTapCanada with the hashtag AskDoubleTap. Stephen Scott, Ring, when I think of Ring, I remember that it was one of the first smart video doorbells that I ever purchased. And I've used a lot of them. There's a lot of companies out there trying to mimic what they do. But no one has really come to the experience, the speed, the efficiency, and the quality that Ring has brought to the market.
Yeah, and it's tight integration now with Amazon and, the Amazon Echo, being able to, see your doorbell from your Echo Show or even from your Fire TV stick, really just enhances the product. And they keep adding these new features even to, the very first doorbell, which I've got.
We're talking all about things IoT, the Internet of Things. So naturally, when we think of smart home devices and keeping these devices not only reliably connected, but also secure, my head goes to Linksys. I've been recommending Linksys VELOP routers and Linksys mesh routers for quite some time now. So let's welcome our next guest. He is a senior product manager over at Linksys. Matthew Kiesler, welcome to DoubleTap TV. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your, I know, busy day to join us to talk all about routers and security.
Thank you, Mark. Thank you for having me. I'm excited to talk about it.
Matt, before we dive into the security of things, because I know that's always top of mind when it comes to any internet-connected device, I want to talk about your guys' lineup of routers, because you have a great new lineup of mesh routers with brand new Wi-Fi 6 compatibility. Let's talk about what's available now, and let's talk about the benefits of Wi-Fi 6.
Yeah, with no question, we have quite a bit out in the market now, and we've had some exciting things come out in the past future. First of all, we've had some of your traditional looking routers in the space while adopting our Linksys Intelligent Mesh technology. So they're giving you that state-of-the-art experience while still meeting some of those traditional looks for those users that want to kind of follow that path as well, while also having our VELOP MX5300, which was our first Wi-Fi 6 router we launched back in October. Both of these routers are going to give you that capability of getting that Wi-Fi 6 speed, while also giving you security like WPA3 with that feature as well. And then for those new users who are just purchasing their first Wi-Fi 6 device, or maybe just got their first mobile phone, but doesn't want to maybe spend $399 for a new mesh Wi-Fi router, you can go with our MR7350. This is a dual band router that is going to give you that great Wi-Fi 6 capability at $149. And still at the backbone of all of our technology is our interoperability amongst all of our Linksys intelligent mesh products. So giving you that ability to grow and expand based off of your internet needs.
Matt, a lot of people come to me and they say, okay, what do you recommend in terms of routers? But one of the questions I have lately is, will Wi-Fi 6 make a difference to me today? Now, of course, if they have a device that supports Wi-Fi 6, I always tell them you're definitely going to see it. But I also recommend that people still dive into it because you're kind of future-proofing yourself. Am I on the right page there?
No question. And we're seeing improved performance on Wi-Fi 5 devices with the Wi-Fi 6 router. So it'll definitely give you those perks as well. And if we like to admit it or not, we don't like to make changes to our routers very often, and we tend to hold on to them for a long period of time. So we always like to advise to future-proof yourself, help you grow into your technology. And our experience now is changing so frequently with our internet usage, especially in the past 6 to 8 months. A year or two, 10 years ago, you maybe have 6 devices at the beginning of the year and 7 at the end. Now that's changing from week to week. And if you're going to just purchase a router at the bare minimum of what you need today, you're going to exceed those capabilities rather quickly. So taking advantage of Wi-Fi 6 not only is going to help your existing products, but really lay that foundation for you to grow into over the next following years.
Talk to some of our viewers who invested about a year or so ago in a brand new VELOP system, for example, that didn't have Wi-Fi 6. And to those listeners or viewers who are not really aware, what are the benefits of the mesh technology? And if someone did upgrade about a year ago, can they benefit from adding Wi-Fi 6 into their mesh?
No question. Well, first of all, the benefits, we really focus on blanketing your home with Wi-Fi, right? And in the past, we could get away with a centralized location, but now as your peripherals, your devices, your usage, your IoT starts to expand, you need that coverage throughout your entire home. And that's really where mesh comes into play, not only giving you coverage throughout the home, but giving you incredible speed with that coverage. Now, with Linksys, when we focus on interoperability, if you happen to make that investment a couple of years ago or a year ago and you purchased our VELOP tri-band system, but now want to get into Wi-Fi 6, by all means, you can purchase that product and take those and extend that network beyond as child nodes, as we call them, in your infrastructure. You could also give those to loved ones, family, or friends, and they can run as an independent system as well. So we really focus on that dynamic interoperability to expand on your needs.
Yeah, that's definitely one of those things I tell people, that because of the nature of the mesh technology, if you're going to get a Wi-Fi 6 VELOP, for example, or a compatible Wi-Fi 6 mesh product, I always recommend, now let's make that your first primary node.
Exactly.
Get yourself up and running, and let you use the older ones, the quote unquote hand-me-downs, as your secondary ones, because it'll help you benefit from everything that goes along with it.
Exactly.
Let's dive into the security of things. So let's have, how does Linksys focus on securing those smart home devices? People have light switches, people have doorbells. The list really is endless. I mean, sprinkler systems, so many different things. What is Linksys doing, and what is there on the routers that actually protect those devices?
So I think at Linksys, the core foundation of our organization, we focus on security. Security devices and devices that are connected to our network has been and will always be a top priority for us. Our security team is working around the clock in collaboration with external security researchers as well to continuously ensure that our products are secure and are offering the latest levels of security. Also, while we offer automatic firmware updates, one of the very first networking companies to offer that, we continue to preach about it, but it's something that should never be overlooked, because we need to be fully accountable and responsible for our system security and safety, and being able to continuously update those and keep our users secure. But beyond that, when you start looking at WPA3, as we alluded to earlier, and that new level of certification, and as we see more and more devices supporting that, it's critical that your network supports it as well, which is what we focus on. And all of our new networking products will continue to adopt that as well. And then when you start expanding beyond that and looking at Linksys Shield, so making sure your children's devices are safe and secure while protecting them from malicious content. And we're also excited to bring two-step authentication to our users here in the future as well. So continuing to expand. But we also have a resource center, and we can share that with you on being able to advise and inform our users not only how to keep your network secure by using complicated passwords, but that rule applies to all your IoT devices as well, because those serve as a potential intrusion point into your network. So you have to continue to be vigilant in your network and your devices connected to your network.
Well, I'm looking forward to that. I feel like that could be a show in itself, quite honestly, talking about how that works and the potential benefits. If you were to give one piece of parting advice for people who are, have their brand new Linksys mesh system, they've got a lot of smart home devices, and they want to make sure everything really is secure, is it just making sure the auto updates are there and keeping on top of that kind of stuff?
Well, luckily our auto updates are turned on automatically for you, so that's something that's going to take care of you right out of the gate. But a lot of it is being mindful of where you're placing your products. We have a habit as users of, okay, I have a dead spot in the living room, so I'm going to place a node there because it's a dead spot. Well, you have to remember the same Wi-Fi connection, right? So be mindful of your placement and utilize our setup flow to help you address the most optimal placement for your network. But at the end of the day, let's address the best needs that support your home, and I think mesh is going to be able to address your expanding development in your Wi-Fi connected space.
Yeah, you make a very good point there. I always tell people, in terms of placement, you can't extend stuff that's not there. So if you want to get something to the far end of your home, don't think of just putting it in the far end of your home, unless of course you're hardwiring it, which is great. But bring it a little bit closer so that it can truly mesh and expand the entire coverage, which is pretty cool. And before I let you go, I want to kind of give you a little applause, because I have a bunch of friends who I've always recommended VOCINO to, who've had the opportunity for one reason or another to work with your support team. And they've had nothing but incredible things to say in terms of the help people have provided to walk them through some problems or issues, or just optimizing things there. So if you guys are out there with your brand new VOCINO system or your brand new mesh router, don't be afraid to call that toll-free number and get support. You will not be, no one's going to laugh at you. There's no problem that is without reach. Matt, thank you so much for taking the time to join us. We're definitely going to hold you to that promise there and have you on in a couple months and talk about more Linksys aware features.
Please. Thank you, Mark. It was a pleasure.
Thank you so much to Matt for joining us. Thank you, of course, to everybody for being along for the ride. If you guys want to get involved, feedback at doubletap.online is our email address. On Twitter, we are at DoubleTap Canada. And don't forget that hashtag AskDoubleTap. On behalf of Steven Scott, I am Marc AFLALO. Thank you to all our guests for being here this week. We will speak to you again next week on DoubleTap TV.
For more great DoubleTap TV content, visit AMI.CA/DoubleTap. Hosted by Marc AFLALO and Steven Scott. Editing, Will Attar. Production assistants, Wendy Kaufman. Content review, Zachary AFLALO. Voiceover, Anna VOCINO. Integrated Described Video Specialist, Ron Rickford. Coordinating Producer, Jennifer Johnson. Director Production, Kara Nye. Director Programming, Brian Perdue. VP Content Development and Programming, John Melville. President and CEO, David Errington. Copyright 2020, Accessible Media, Inc.